Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys my top 3 tips on how to get a job after passing the NCLEX. So first, you go to school, you get that degree in nursing. Now it's time to take the NCLEX. You finally pass the NCLEX, and now it's time to secure that job and secure the paper, secure the bag. In this video, I'm going to give you guys my top 3 tips on how I was able to find a job, and hopefully that helps you. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, definitely do that for more videos. Now let's get right into it. So the first tip that I want to give you guys in this video is to be open. When you're first, trying to find a job, be open to certain floors. Like if you know exactly where you want to work, like you want to work in pediatrics or in the ICU, definitely go for that. Like don't listen to people when they say, oh, like you should start off in med surg and then go ahead and transition to the ICU or a pediatric floor or anything like that. Like do what it is that you want to do. Go straight into it if you already know. Now if you don't know, go into med surg, and later on you still have the opportunity to go ahead and like do something else. So like if you realize like, oh, I really like labor and delivery, go ahead and do that. Like I had a friend who, she went into med surg for a couple years, hated it so much, and then right after that transitioned to labor and delivery, and she loves it so much better. So be open to whatever it is that you can get into. Just know that nursing, you can do anything you want. You can work on any floor, the ED, the OR, pediatrics, ICU, labor and delivery. The opportunities are endless, so just keep your options open and your mind open when you're first looking for that job. Okay, so tip number 2 is don't settle or say yes to your first job opportunity. So where I currently work right now, I actually worked as a nursing student associate. So I kind of had an idea of how every single floor was and how they operated. So when I graduated, I had a recruiter, and I had, what she would do for me is just introduce different job opportunities and say, hey, this floor is, hiring. Do you want an interview for this floor? And to be honest, I was picky in the beginning, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I would say no, like, I already know how that floor is and I can't see myself working there, and it's okay to say that. Like if you have an idea of how the floors operate, like at the hospital that you're applying to, and you've worked there as a CNA or a nursing student, don't just say yes just because it's your first job offer, just because you're like, okay, well I'm new, I don't have any experience and I need a job. Like it's okay to be picky in the beginning. Just know that keep your mind open and like keep your options open, but it's okay to say no. You can like say no to a certain job. Don't settle. Take your time, because you want to be happy where you are working. You don't want that first job to give you like a bad not a conception, but like just a bad just to give you like some type of like bad notion of like how nursing is, to make you feel like nursing isn't what you thought it was going to be just because of the floor that you're working on. I want you to have that good first experience, so it's okay to say no to your first job offer. Maybe that second job offer or that third job offer is going to be the job for you. Now I'm not saying to say no to every single job opportunity, but if you have an idea of where you're applying to and you have an idea of like how certain floors operate, it's okay to say no at first. Alright guys, so now tip number 3. This is the third tip, but it's the most important tip, so I decided to leave it for last. My third and final tip is don't get discouraged. Finding a job, it's not easy, whether it's in nursing or anything at all. Obviously in nursing, you have way more job opportunities. Any state, there's always a job opportunity for nurses, but I don't want you to feel discouraged, okay? When I first passed my NCLEX, I got super excited. I started applying everywhere, and I didn't get my first job like off of a job interview. I actually did like 3 or 4 interviews before I got a job, and I started to get discouraged. I started to panic. I'm like, oh my god, I thought that I was gonna get my first, after my first job interview I was gonna get a job, and that's not how it worked out. But everything worked out perfectly for me. My first interview, I actually did it where I actually had my clinical. So certain schools, they allow you like your senior year to do like a special type of clinical where you follow other nurses. And so I did my job interview with that manager on that floor, and he actually was also my leadership professor, and I thought that I was gonna get that job. Like I was like, yo, he knows me, he was my professor, I did my clinical there, I got an A, I'm gonna get this job. And the interview was crazy. So the interview was really hard, and I thought that it was really hard for someone who just graduated college and had no experience and no skills. He literally was just like asking me all this crazy stuff, like if you were to go to a cookout and then this happened to this person and their heart rate was elevated and all of this, and I got really nervous, and I get really anxious and I started to panic, and I just got like dry mouth and I needed some water. So the interview just didn't go as planned, but I did think that I was gonna get that job just because, you know, he was my leadership professor and I got a really good grade in the class and I got a really good grade in the clinical, but that's not how it worked out. But I'm actually happy that everything worked out the way it was supposed to, because I ended up getting a job where I was oriented, or you know, just did my like nursing student associate orientation that first week. So where I work now, that first week of becoming a nursing student associate, I was orienting there with one of the CNAs, and I ended up being a nurse starting off on that floor. So everything worked out. Like if I had first, you know, taken that first job opportunity that was presented to me, I would have been on another floor. If I had, you know, gotten that job, that first job with that leadership professor, that would have been great, but it wasn't supposed to work out that way, and I'm actually happy that I'm where I'm at now. That hospital, they paid bi-weekly, and I had no idea during that time, and where I work now, it's weekly, and I appreciate that so much more. It works with my lifestyle, and I just feel like everything happens for a reason. I don't want you to ever feel discouraged. I ended up doing like 3 more interviews after that first interview, and I still didn't get a job, and I was starting to get really discouraged. But when I did my interview with the, you know, managers that I have now, I got the job, and it just worked out, and I felt comfortable, and I'm there, and I've been there for 2 years now, and I'm really happy. So I don't want you to feel discouraged. You are supposed to be where you're supposed to be. Whatever God has planned for you is what's going to happen, and it's where you're going to be. And I don't want you to ever feel discouraged. Keep pushing, stay motivated, don't ever feel discouraged. Just keep on you know, doing interviews. Don't settle, and keep your options open. I hope you all really liked this video. I hope that the tips that I gave you guys will really help you out in finding a job after passing the NCLEX. If you have any additional tips that you want to share with other people, don't forget to leave it in the comment section below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I don't know what you're waiting for, but subscribe to my channel for some more videos, and I will see you guys in my next one.